We live in an era where the path to creative and financial independence seems incredibly clear. The modern dream, for millions of people, is to write a book, self-publish it to success, and share a powerful message with the world. Yet the reality for the vast majority of aspiring creators holding on to that ambition looks very different. Millions of them will never type a single word on page 1. What stops them is something called the personal story threshold. It acts as an invisible dividing line separating your creative goals from what feels like an insurmountable wall of barriers. From the perspective of someone trying to start, crossing this line requires satisfying a towering list of strict prerequisites. It demands that you secure influencer connections, find the perfect schedule, and carve out infinite free time before you are even allowed to begin. But if you look closely at those requirements, they aren't actual physical laws of success. They form a highly engineered psychological smokescreen designed to protect creators from the very real fear of failure. This mental barrier is actively constructed out of 3 specific, self-imposed logical fallacies. First is the audience myth. This is the assumption that you need a massive following already waiting for you before you start creating. It creates a strict catch-22. You need followers to publish, but you must publish to get followers. The truth is, visibility is a byproduct of the work, not a prerequisite. Next is the sequential trap. Creators often artificially inflate the complexity of a project, telling themselves they have to perfectly execute steps 1, 2, and 3 in rigid order. Building this mental maze serves a specific purpose. It provides total psychological permission to walk away without feeling guilty. Finally, we have the myth of divine timing. This is the socially acceptable illusion that a perfect, entirely stress-free moment with infinite free time will eventually arrive if we just wait long enough. Pointing to a busy calendar is an easy way to surrender ambition. Sitting around waiting for an audience to arrive and your schedule to magically clear guarantees one specific outcome: you will remain entirely invisible. Successful creators do not start because they have all these prerequisites neatly lined up. They succeed specifically because they take action in spite of lacking them. To see how breaking these rules actually works, we can look at the case study of a creator named Lillian. Her origin point was extremely messy: a raw, unstructured 44-page digital document, originally shared with a few private clients. When she explored traditional publishing, she hit immediate friction. The standard industry processes were slow, required months of waiting without clear communication, and often demanded she pay to join external writing communities just to have her work viewed. Handing over a manuscript meant completely losing creative control. It meant her work would be placed on someone else's timeline, separating her from her core values and pure intention of sharing her experience. Looking at internal meeting records, her pivot to self-publishing sped up production. By retaining full control and simply writing in a Google Doc whenever inspired, that 44-page draft naturally expanded into a massive 448-page manuscript over a few months. This pivot required treating the book differently. It was no longer a static, linear product meant to sit on a shelf. On a severe limitation, it sells a single book at one fixed price. This assumes every single buyer wants the exact same level of commitment, which artificially caps both impact and revenue. Lillian built the Sovereign ecosystem, a multi-tiered funnel. The base captures attention through free channels, leading to a $33 digital book. The middle offers a $333 audio experience or an $1,100 live cohort, bridging to a $3,000 one-on-one container at the apex. Rather than aggressively forcing buyers into expensive coaching, readers organically self-select their exact desired depth of engagement. This creates a high-ticket revenue stream without the creator having to spend a single dollar on paid ads. Because this ecosystem is living, it is also delightfully messy. When Lillian attempted to translate her English manuscript into a Chinese edition, she hit a wall. According to these strategy notes, the translation process caused an unexpected technical glitch. Attempting to format the text for digital publication resulted in a sprawling 14,881-page manuscript that completely broke the platform's upload limits. A traditional publisher would see this as a failure. Here, it simply forced further evolutionary expansion. To solve the problem, she created the Sovereign Atelier Press, planning to break the massive translation into multiple distinct series and product lines. In a living ecosystem, rapid iteration, adaptation, and diversification are structural strengths, not signs of failure. A creator operating inside an ecosystem like this no longer relies on the old metrics of success. You stop chasing external validation from massive audiences or big corporate brands because your revenue is tied to deep alignment with your readers, not broad visibility. As noted in this review of her ecosystem's expansion, Lillian was offered a lucrative feature in a major publication. After a self-assessment, she declined the $10,000 magazine opportunity because the focus on glamorous media simply did not match her core energetic intention. Revenue generated in this model isn't just stored in a bank account to lose value to inflation. It is actively reinvested into the creator's regulated practices and programs, building the capacity to hold and manage even greater expansion. Ultimately, this process forces a reflection on personal legacy. The final goal of the work shifts from merely accumulating financial wealth to actively passing down lived experience and generational wisdom. Those scattered notes, chaotic mind maps, and early ideas sitting in your digital folders are not incomplete trash. They are the raw, living architecture for a future ecosystem. The artificial illusion of the threshold is gone. The only real requirement to start building your legacy is the simple decision to begin.